Śrīla Bhakti Grantha Vāman Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nithyananda Pravishtam Vishnupāda Shatarashatashmat Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nithyananda Pravishtam Vishnupāda Shatarashatashmat Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nithyananda Pravishtam Vishnupāda Shatarashatashmat Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Sorry, spaced out. Nithyananda Pravishtam Vishnupāda Shatarashatashmat Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki jai. Nithyananda Pravishtam Mahābhagavat Śrīla Gokṣaras Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Nithyananda Pravishtam Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nithyananda Pravishtam Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Rupa Nugarya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sharda Gosvāmī Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nithyananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandal Braja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Avishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunna Shama Kunna ki jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shri Rohini Nandan Baladev Prabhu ki jai. Baladev Prabhu Avirbhav Titi ki jai. Titi Palan Kari Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Baladev Purnima ki jai. Shri Julan Yatra Samapti Divas ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Brajar Balai ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Anantapati Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Tandavat Pranams Gargaraji and Madhuri Didi and Raseshwari Mataji. Tandavat Pranams. Okay, let me share my screen with you. Today I'm not going to read for so long because I have some other things I need to do tonight. Other things I need to work on. Okay. So, yeah, so it's just going to be a short reading, I think. I don't know, sometimes I get carried away though. We'll see. But first, yeah, I wanted to start off with this one. Shri Baladev Prabhu is Guru. This is a class given by my Śrīla Gurudev, Nithyananda Pravishtam Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj in Vrindavan, August 12, 2003. To see everything's okay. Alright, so Lord Shri Krishna appeared as Shri Baladev Prabhu to give instructions on how to serve himself. As one may massage his feet by his own hands, so Baladev is Krishna himself in the form of the Supreme Guru to teach others how to serve his lotus feet. They are one, but there is a slight difference in their forms. Krishna is black and Baladev is white, and Krishna carries a flute, whereas Baladev carries a buffalo horn. Because Baladev teaches service to Krishna, he is called Akhanda Guru Tattva, the complete and undivided principle of Guru. When Shri Baladev killed the donkey-shaped demon named Denakasura, he showed that only Guru can remove our ignorance. When he killed the demon Pralambasura, he showed that only the bona fide Guru can remove our hypocrisy and tendency towards political diplomacy. During the battle of Kurukshetra, when Bhima was fighting with Duryodhana, Bhima cheated according to the codes of a Kshatriya by striking Duryodhana on his thigh. Baladev became angry because Duryodhana was his disciple. However, when he understood that Bhima had gotten the indication from Krishna to do what he did, Baladev didn't say anything and simply left to go on pilgrimage. While on pilgrimage, he went to Naimisharanya, where Romaharshan Sutta was speaking the Puranas to 88,000 sages. The sages all stood up to show him respect and honor, but Romaharshan did not. He did not even fold his palms. Lord Baladev is the personification of religion, and he wanted to establish the religious etiquette between guru and disciple. If one tries to teach others and at the same time is offensive to the bona fide guru, he is destroyed. Ramaharshan was a prominent disciple of Śrīla Vyasadeva, whose guru is Sri Baladeva Prabhu. Sri Baladev touched Ramaharshan with a piece of kusha grass, and he immediately died. The sages lamented and asked, "Who will speak the Puranas?" Baladev replied, "Don't worry, I can bring him back to life." They said, "No, what you have done is proper, but we need a speaker." Baladev then called for Ramaharshan's son, Ugrashrava, and blessed him to be the speaker. Ugra means tenacious, and Shrava means hearing. Because Ugrashrava was blessed by Baladeva Prabhu, he had a great capacity for hearing Hari Katha. In Ram Lila, there is a gorilla named Dvida, who performed profuse service to Ram. He helped build the bridge to Lanka, and he helped in the war against Ravan. Although he was devoted to Ram, he was offensive to Lakshman, Ram's younger brother, who is a manifestation of Baladev and is therefore a manifestation of Akhanda Guru Tattva. Dvida gorilla was against Lakshman, and during Krishna Lila, he was also against Sri Baladev Prabhu. If one is against Ashray Bhagavan, Sri Krishna in the form of a servant, then Vishay Bhagavan, Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, will not protect or forgive him. The only fruit of that person's offense to Guru is his destruction by the club and plow of Baladev Prabhu. If there is no Guru Bhakti, life is useless. Guru Nishta, steady faith in Guru, is the backbone of Bhakti, and without it, life has no use. Suppose a person comes to you, speaks Hari Katha, and then says, "Come with me, I will take you to a bona fide Guru." If then you go to that Guru and receive the initiation mantras, can you ever repay that person who brought you? Even if that person is a Kanishta Adhikari, the third class of a Vaishnava, if he is telling you what bhakti is, and you are not grateful, you lose your bhakti. Is it possible to repay the debt accrued for receiving transcendental knowledge? Even if your teacher is a Kanishta, it is an offense not to repay him. And what to speak if he is an Uttam Mahabhagavat, a bona fide Guru who is a manifestation of Krishna, and he is looking after you. If you go against him, Sri Krishna will create a hell worse than anything he has already made, and that hell will be waiting for you. Oh my God. If one offends a bona fide Guru, millions upon millions of his future lives are lost and wasted. If a person rejects a bona fide Guru, don't maintain any friendship with him. This is not a laughing matter. If you keep association with karmis, jnanis, and yogis, even those in the dress of Vaishnavas, you will lose your bhakti very quickly. Don't praise them and don't criticize them, or you will lose your bhakti. Don't associate by body or mind. Criticizing them is to associate by the mind. Keep such persons out of your mind. Otherwise, you will very quickly get their qualities. If you throw water on an electric wire, the electrified water will splash back on you and you will get electrocuted. So don't criticize even one who is offensive to Guru. If you associate with those who are offensive or sinful, their qualities will reflect in your own heart. So be careful. Don't associate with them, even in dreams. If anyone is against Guru, don't even see his shadow. Otherwise, your bhakti will not manifest for millions upon millions of lives. Bhakti can only manifest by Guru's mercy. With this consideration, move on in life. This evening, we will again sit together and discuss the tattva of Sri Baladev Prabhu. Wow. Very serious, heavy stuff. What's this one? This one tells the Ramaharshan story again. Maybe, let's skip this one. Let's put this one. Sorry guys, I should have done this before. Conclusive statements regarding controversies. Krishna and Baladev are the same. Baladev is Sat. A root causes Baladev. This one also tells the story of Mahārāja. Anyways, let's read this one. Our relationship with Balaram. Oh, actually, I just listened to this class this morning. Neat. Okay. If you go on the on YouTube on the Gurudev's lectures page, this is the class that's given the audio for this. Okay. So this is a bit long, but yeah. What time is it? 8:17. Okay. So this is spoken in Krishna Balaram Mandir, Vrindavan, on August 2nd, 1993. Today is a very auspicious day because two very sacred tithis have met together, Purnima and the appearance day of Baladev. Today also ends Julan Yatra, which has been going on for 1 month since the beginning of this Shravan month. At the end of Julan Yatra, all Brajavasis are very sad, and therefore Baladeva Prabhu appears on this day and makes them happy. Conclusive statements regarding controversies. Some Brajavasis hold an opinion that Baladev appeared after Krishna. They say that Krishna appeared on Ashtami, the 8th moon day, and Baladev appeared after Krishna on Chatra, the following 6th moon day. However, Śrīla Jiva Gosvāmī, Śrīla Sanatana Gosvāmī, Śrīla Rupa Gosvāmī, and all our Goswamis don't agree on this point. They explain that if Baladev appears on the following 6th moon day, then Krishna will be older than Baladev Prabhu by several days. Or, if Baladev came the year before, then he will be almost 1 year older than Krishna. Therefore, Jiva Goswami states in his Vaishnav Toshani that according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna and Baladev were both named by Gargacharya on the same day. They were crawling at the same time. Their Annaprasan, Mahaprasad taking ceremony of any new child, was performed on the same day, and all their developments took place at the same time. When Krishna took birth in Gokul and Baladev first saw him, that was the first time Baladev had opened his eyes. When Mother Yashoda and Rohinima placed them both on the same hanging swing, they were very much pleased to see each other. Some say that Baladev Prabhu and Krishna took birth in Mathura, but this understanding belongs to ordinary persons, not Rasik and Tattvagya Bhaktas. They have a different opinion. In Srimad Bhagavatam and Hari Vamsa, it is stated that Devaki is another name for Yashoda. This is written in so many Puranas, especially in Hari Vamsa. There was no birth in Mathura. Krishna appeared there as Vishnu, as Parabrahma, as a youth of 16 years. In Mathura, he appeared in the form of Vasudev. He was four-handed and was holding his Shankar, Gada, Chakra, and Padma. He had long, wavy hair. He wore a Swarna Mukut. Anyways, whatever. Maybe that's a different word, I don't know. Anyways, a Swarna Mukut, a golden crown, and he was adorned with golden ornaments. Sona. Anyways, whatever. Bhagavan never takes birth, but Krishna is not only Bhagavan, he is Swayam Bhagavan. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written a shloka that reveals the opinion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. First of all, Krishna is Rajendra Nandan, the son of Nanda Mahārāja, and he is Aradhya, the supreme worshipable deity. Tadhama Vrindavanam. His abode Vrindavan is equally worshipable. Lord Shri Krishna and his abode Vrindavan are equally worshipable. This is the idea of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna is not the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. He is only the son of Yashoda and Nanda Baba. Rajesha Tanayas means Nanda Baba. Our Aradhya Dev is Krishna, who took birth in Gokul. Just as Krishna took birth in Gokul, So Baladeva Prabhu also takes birth, only in Gokul. He comes from the womb of Devaki in part, but in whole, he comes from the womb of Rohini in Gokul. Rohini Devi was one of Vasudev's many wives in Mathura. In Gopal Champu, it is stated that when Vasudev and Devaki were put in Kamsa's jail, she used to go from time to time to visit and serve them there. On one visit, she became pregnant, and Devaki also conceived a child at that time. The original and complete Balaram entered her womb, and his plenary portion was in the womb of Devaki. After 2 or 3 months, in order to protect Rohini from the atrocities of Kamsa, Vasudev sent her to Vrindavan to live in the home of Nanda Baba and Yashoda. Yashoda Maya had inspired him to do so. After Baladev's plenary expansion had been in Devaki's womb for 6 months, Yogamaya took him from her womb to Gokul, where she put him in Rohini's womb, and both the plenary portion and the original Balaram merged there. It appeared, and everyone thought, that Devaki had a miscarriage, but actually, that plenary portion had been transferred to Rohini's womb. As a magnet attracts iron, so the original Baladev attracted his own expansion. 8 months later, Rohini begot her son, and therefore, all in all, Sri Baladeva Prabhu had been in her womb for 14 months. When Krishna appeared as Vasudev, his 4-handed plenary expansion in Mathura, Vasudeva and Devaki prayed to him, "Please appear as a very little boy, and then we can try to save you from Kamsa." At that time, Krishna, who had just taken birth from the womb of Yashoda, at once came to Mathura and took Chaturbhuj, a 4-handed Krishna, in him, and both mixed. Sorry guys, I'm reading strangely today. Vasudev took this baby Krishna to Gokul, left him there, and took Yogamaya, Krishna's sister who had just taken birth from Yashoda's womb, along with him. Similarly, we should know that Rohini's son Baladeva Prabhu's plenary expansion was present in the womb of Devaki, and by the arrangement of Yogamaya, was carried to Gokul, both mixed together there as Rohini Nandan. Balaram always thought, and he was in the mood, that his father was Nanda Baba, not Vasudev Maharaj. It's important to get the Vasudev and Vasudev right. Vasudev is, Mathura, Krishna's father in Mathura, and Vasudev is named for Krishna. Okay, the and the A. So Baladeva never thought, I am the son of Devaki and Vasudev. Mul Sankarshan is Baladev in Dwarka or Mathura. Baladev in Gokul or Vraj is not Mul Sankarshan. He is something different. In Tattva, they are both one, but by Ras Vichar, consideration on the basis of Ras, they are not one. When Krishna appeared in Mathura, he was not the original Krishna, but Vasudev Nandan. Similarly, when Baladev appeared in Mathura, he was not Rohini Nandan, but rather Mul Sankarshan. In both Dwarka and Mathura, he is Mul Sankarshan, a partial manifestation of Baladeva Prabhu. From him, Maha Sankarshan and Vaikuntha is expanded, and from him, Karnadakshay Vishnu comes. From Karnadakshay Vishnu, Garbhadakshay comes, and from Garbhadakshay comes Kshiradakshay Vishnu. The last part of Maha Sankarshan is Kshiradakshay Vishnu as Ananta Shesh. All these expansions have the mood to serve Krishna, and they are serving him. Baladev and Krishna are the same. Okay, sorry. Whenever I get a WhatsApp message, I always get distracted. That's why. Okay. Baladev and Krishna are the same. There is no difference between Krishna and Baladev. Krishna is Swayam Rup. Wait, let me just check, make sure everything's running okay. Yes, it is. Cool. Dandavat Pranam, Rukmini, Didi, Tirtha Prabhu, Vipul. Okay. So there is no difference between Krishna and Baladev. Krishna is Swayam Rup. And Baladev Prabhu is also like that. But still, he is Krishna's prakash, or manifestation. There is only some difference in color and paraphernalia. Baladev never carries his hal and mushal, his plow and club in Vraj. And Krishna also never carries any weapon there. He only carries his vangsi, and Baladev Prabhu only his shringar, his buffalo horn. Sometimes Baladev also carries a vangshi, but the vangshi is not prominent. Krishna also carries a shringar, but the Vangshi is prominent for him. By that Vangshi, he performs Ras Lila and all other similar pastimes. Baladev does not keep a plow or club because there is no use for them in Vraj, where all his Leelas are madhur, sweet. He is not married in Vraj, and Krishna is also not married there, not openly. They only engage in their sweet Leelas there. In Dwarka, however, it is Vasudev Nandan and Devaki Nandan who appear. Vrindavana parityaja na padam ekagachati. It is not, that means that Krishna never takes 1 foot outside of Vrindavan, leaving Vrindavan, I mean. It is not only the part of Krishna, but also the part of Baladeva Prabhu who go there. Baladeva Prabhu also never leaves Vrindavan. He always lives in Vrindavan. Someone may say that Baladev was in the womb of Rohini in Mathura, and at that time, therefore, he was out of Vrindavan. But this is not true. Rohini is a Vishuddha Vrajavasi. She is always in the consciousness that I am a Vrajavasi. Even when Nanda Baba and the cowherd boys went to Mathura with Krishna, they were still in Vrindavan because their consciousness was such. Yogamaya Purnamasi apparently lived in Ujjain before moving to Vrindavan, but actually she is an eternal Vishuddha Vrajavasi. Rohini apparently came from Mathura, but she is also an eternal Vishuddha Vrajavasi. Therefore, when Rohini Nandan Baladeva appeared in her womb, he was in Vrindavan. Baladev is Sat. Krishna is a mixture of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. The meaning of Sat is Sattva, the existence potency. Chit here means bhav, transcendental loving emotions manifested in the 5 rasas. In the ordinary sense, it is taken as gyan, knowledge. But there is no gyan in that sense in Vrindavan. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Gyane prayasam udupasyam namantam eva jivanti sanmukaritam bhavadiya vartam sthane stita shrutigatam tanuman van manobhir ye prayasa jita jitopyasita strilokyam. My dear Lord, those devotees who have thrown away the impersonal conception of the absolute truth and have therefore abandoned discussing empiric philosophical truths should hear from self-realized devotees about your holy name, form, pastimes, and qualities. If you want to serve Krishna and Srimati Radhika and Vraj Bhav, you will have to leave Gyan. You will have to try to hear only the pastimes of Krishna, to remember them, and to chant the names of Krishna and Radhika. Otherwise, if you are not ekantik, one-pointed, you cannot approach Vraj. When Tattva Gyan becomes Bhav, that Bhav can reach to Vrindavan, and we can serve in Vraj with that Bhav. In the ordinary sense, Gyan is only in relation to Brahman. Those who are Gyanis think themselves Brahman. When Gyan is Tattva Gyan, realization of Bhagavan, one can go to Vaikuntha, but he cannot reach Vrindavan. Here Gyan means the Bhav experienced in the 5 rasas, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. This is called Samvit, the knowledge potency. The potency by which Krishna knows himself and by which others know him. The essence or sum and substance of Hladini is called Prem, and Prem personified is Srimati Radhika. Baladeva Prabhu is the Adhishtatri Devata, the predominating deity of Sat, Sattva, or Sandhini. Krishna is the Adhishtatri Devata of Chit, that is both Gyan and Bhav together. And Srimati Radhika is the Adhishtatri Devi of Hladini. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat is the existence potency. The jiva is also ever living or ever existing. But Baladeva Prabhu is the master of all. He is the personification of Sat. He is the original existence potency. We see Krishna, we see his Vangsi, we see all the Vrajavasis, we see this world, and we see the jivas. All are expansions of Baladeva Prabhu. Krishna with Baladev and Radharani is Vrajendra Nandan Shyam Sundar. Without Baladev, there would be no existence of the pastimes of Radha Krishna and the gopis. There'd be no existence of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna and the gopis, and no existence of the land of Vrindavan, because he is the existence potency. All the associates of Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya rasas are manifestations of Baladev. Regarding Madhurya ras, those gopis who are Kaya Vyuha Rupa, bodily expansions of Srimati Radhika, are her manifestations. Baladev serves in all the rasas, but not in Shringar or Madhurya ras. To serve in that ras, he takes the form of Ananga Manjari. Our root cause is Baladev. The root of all jivas, the cause of all jivas, is Baladeva Prabhu. In Vraj, the jivas have manifested from the original Baladev. They have never come to this world. They have always served Radha and Krishna in Madhurya ras or Sakya ras. From Baladev comes Mula Sankarshan and Dwarka. Ashanka, innumerable jivas come from Baladev in his form as Mula Sankarshan, and they serve Dwarkadish and Mathuresh Krishna in so many ways. From Mul Sankarshan comes Mahasankarshan in Vaikuntha. He manifests the Mukta jivas there, and they eternally serve Ram, Nrsimha, Kalki, Vaman, Narayan, and all other Svangsha incarnations. From Mahasankarshan comes Karana Takshay Vishnu in the Tatastha region, and he manifests the Tatastha jivas. Among them, some become free from Maya, and some become Baddha jivas, conditioned souls. In this way, we see that all kinds of jivas have come from Baladev. It is told like this in the scriptures, but actually there is no birth of the jivas. They are all eternal, like Baladev Prabhu himself. This is only said to convince the sadharan, the ordinary jivas or conditioned souls. There are so many things that Shastra has told us, whereas in reality, in Goloka Vrindavan Dham, these things will be seen in another way. Yeah. That's the thing, is it's not possible for a material brain to understand the eternal present, or, like all these different conceptions. They're achintya, they're completely inconceivable. They're na prakrita gochar, they're beyond the grasp of material senses. And so just to make us kind of understand something, but it's not really true exactly, they have to put them in some kind of material world words for us to understand. But actually, it's in Goloka Vrindavan Dham, these things will be seen in another way. That's what Gurudeva says here. Should we read all this? I think now I'm going to move on to Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Bharatī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's class. Yeah, let's move on to Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Bharatī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's clarification. Let's see, how long is this? Kind of long. Anyways, no, it's not so bad. View. Where is reading mode? There. Hey. Oh, show reader. Okay. Let me just make sure everything's running okay. Looks like it. Shri Baladev Purnima. August 22nd, 2021 is Baladev Purnima in Vrindavan. The following is a Bhavanuvad of a discourse given by Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Bharatī Gosvāmī Mahārāja on August 10, 2014. Okay, so Śrīla Mahārāja began his Harikatha by first reciting the Pranam mantra of Shri Baladev. Yes, Raseshwari Mataji, I will send you the link. Oh, I kind of want to memorize a shloka. Do you want to memorize this shloka with me? I don't know it. But I've heard it. This is like the official Pranam mantra for Baladev Prabhu. It's what's in the Mangalacharan in a lot of the songbooks for the Baladev Pranam mantra, but I never actually learned it. I haven't even heard it that many times. Maybe afterwards we can try to memorize it together. Okay. Namaste tu halagrama, namaste mushala yudha, namaste revati kanta, Namaste Bhaktavatsala. Namaste Dharani Dhara. Namaste Balinam Shrishta. Pralambare Namastestu. Trahimam Krishna Purvaja. Okay, so if anybody sticks around till the end, then we will, you can learn this shloka with me. We'll go over it. Obeisances to you, O holder of the plow. Obeisances to you, O wielder of the mace. Obeisances to you, O darling of Revati. Obeisances to you, O kind benefactor of your devotees. Obeisances to you, O upholder of the earth. Obeisances to you, O best of the strong. Obeisances to you, O enemy of Pralamba. Please deliver me, O older brother of Krishna. Today is a special day. It is the Avirbhav of Sri Balaram. So the topic of discussion today will be connected to Sri Baladev Tattva. Study scriptures under the guidance of Vaishnavas. Janma karma chame divyam. The subject of Bhagavan's birth and activities are all divine and wonderful, as well as incomprehensible to our mundane intellect. Those who haven't studied Srimad Bhagavad Gita under the guidance of a Vaishnava have various doubts. In Puri, a group of devotees from abroad would daily approach me seeking answers to a host of questions. The nature of their queries went such as, when did Mother Gruhini conceive Balaram in her womb? So what has been understood from the shloka from Bhagavad Gita, Janma Karma Chame Divyam? Yeah, it's inconceivable to our mundane intellect. The birth and activities, the janma and karma, is all transcendental. Sri Balaram is the first expansion, the Prakash Vigraha of Sri Krishna, and from him expands Karanadakshay, Garbhadakshay, and Kshiradakshai, and Shesh. When Krishna bewildered Brahma, he showed how all the cowherd boys and calves had four-handed Narayan forms. So did these Narayan forms enter the womb and take birth? No. How can those who have not acquired any spiritual knowledge understand these topics? Devaki's seventh pregnancy, Balaram, was attracted to the womb of Rohini. Can we fathom such phenomena? All these things are possible because Bhagavan is Sarva Shaktiman, the possessor of all strength. As a mere child of 6 days, Krishna so effortlessly killed Putana, whose body was 6 krosha long, approximately 18 kilometers, simply by the act of sucking her breast milk. As Putana's mammoth body lay lifeless, Krishna was without fear playing on the upper portion of her breast. The Vrajvasis had to use a ladder to retrieve him. Krishna was smiling, entirely unscathed, while the gigantic Putana lay slain. Krishna didn't even have to assume any huge form to kill her. Everything about Krishna is transcendental. Similarly, Baladev sanctified Devaki's womb by first appearing in it, and then during the 8th pregnancy, Krishna appeared in Devaki's womb in a splendid four-handed form holding a conch, disc, club, and lotus. Is any baby born in this manner? So how is this possible? When Vasudev chanted hymns, nothing happened. But when Devaki prayed, now that you have mercifully accepted to appear as our child, it hasn't been mentioned that when he was born as their child, it is mentioned that he accepted to appear as their child. Yeah, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it doesn't say anything like Janma or whatever. It says, my Param Gurudeva gives there's an article by him. Those who read Srimad Bhagavatam will see that the term Angikar is clearly mentioned, which means to accept. Hence, Devaki said, now that you have accepted to appear as our child, then please assume the form just like an ordinary human child, because no one will accept you as Devaki's child in this four-handed form holding a conch, disc, club, and lotus. Similar to this query, those devotees had many others. Why? Because they did not have sadhu sangha. Hence, Sarup Damodar has said in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antilila 5, 131 to 132, Jaho Bhagavata Poro Vaishnavirastane Ekanta Ashraya Koro Chaitanya Charane. If you want to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, you must first approach a self-realized Vaishnav and hear from him. You can do this when you have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanyara Bhaktaganer Nitya Koro Sangha Tabe to Janibo Siddhanta Samudra Taranga. Associate regularly with the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the only way to understand the waves of the ocean of devotional service. In this way, we can come to know the waves of the ocean of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's divine teachings. It is not possible to know the entire ocean, but by associating with the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can absorb ourselves in some of the waves of that ocean. This is the reason why we have to repeatedly emphasize that Bhagavan's appearance is divya, transcendental. It is not lokika, mundane. Baladev appears to give us knowledge of Bhagavan. The appearance of Baladev is also transcendental. Baladev is Prakash Vigraha. He appears to give us knowledge of Bhagavan and to explain who Bhagavan is. Balaram holds a plow and a mace in his hands. Just as a field is tilled with a plow to sow seeds for the crops to grow, Baladev plows the field of our hearts to prepare it to receive the seed of Bhakti, and by his mace, he subdues the opposing tendencies to help us surrender unto Bhagavan. That is why he is Guru Tattva. The Kaurava's plight. When Duryodhana opposed Krishna, Baladev went to advise him because Duryodhana was his disciple, because the Guru will always try to protect his disciple. Hence, Balaram spoke, "On the order of the all-powerful King Ugrasen, please immediately release Samba and bring him along with his wife Lakshmana before me." The leaders of the Kuru dynasty did not appreciate the statements made by Balaram, and becoming agitated, they said with great anger, "Due to the influence of this age, it appears that the shoes befitting the feet went to rise onto the top of the head where the helmet is worn." There's an endnote here. Should we see the endnote? Okay, let's look at the endnote. Endnote. It's too long of an endnote. Sorry, guys. Okay. When the leaders of the Kuru dynasty did not heed his advice, at that time, enraged Balaram began to drag the entire city of Hastinapur with his plow to the Ganges. The historians retort, "There is no Ganga near Hastinapur, there is Yamuna instead." Actually, the Sanskrit meaning of the word Ganga is water, so all can be addressed as Ganga. That is why it is said in the scriptures, "Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri." Whose name is taken first? All of these rivers can be referred as Ganga. It is very difficult to comprehend. There is one verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:68-31. Nunam namna mandano nada shantim ne chantya sadhava tesham hi prashamo danda Pashunam lagudo yata. Lord Balaram said, "Clearly, the many passions of these scoundrels have made them so proud that they do not want peace. Then let them be pacified by physical punishment, so as animals are with a stick." Animals can be tamed only by beating. Likewise, striking one with a rod as punishment will make one understand. The terrified Kauravas now surrendered to the lotus feet of Balaram, begging for his mercy. They cried out, "Trahi Baladev, Trahi Baladev, Sharanagata. Please save us, O Baladev, we surrender." Krishna Bhakti will appear by the mercy of Balaram. Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur has said in his kirtan, "Gauranga bolite have pulaka sharira, Hari Hari bolite nayane bhave nira." Ara kabe nitai chande karuna hoibe sangsara vasana mora kabe tu chahabe. When I attain the mercy of Baladev, Nithyananda, then the desire for material enjoyment will become very insignificant. Otherwise, it won't go. Vishaya chariya kabe shuddha habe man. When the mind becomes freed from material desires, it becomes completely purified. Vishaya means material sound, touch, form, taste, and fragrance. By giving up these things and turning to the Lord, the mind will be cleansed. In another place, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Jnani Jivan Mukta Dasha Jnani Jivan Mukta Dasha Painu Kori Mane Vastuta Buddhi Shuddha Nahe Krishna Bhakti Vine. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22:29. There are many philosophical speculators, jnanis, belonging to the Mayavad school who consider themselves liberated and call themselves Narayan. But their intelligence is not purified unless they engage in Krishna's devotional service. Vastuta buddhi shuddha nahe Krishna bhakti vine. Without Krishna bhakti, the intelligence can never become purified. And Krishna bhakti will appear when one attains the mercy of Lord Nithyananda Balaram. Through association, we will gain some knowledge about Baladeva Prabhu. Only then will our heart be cleansed and we will be able to attain our ultimate auspiciousness. Until Baladeva Prabhu plows the field of our hearts, making us qualified to attain Krishna Bhakti is not possible. The significance of Nithyananda Prabhu's outer appearance. Nithyananda Prabhu also used to wear a variety of ornaments and fine silken clothing of different shades. Upon seeing him, people would remark that such an appearance doesn't suit him. Likewise, once a co-student of Chaitanya Dev approached him and complained about Nithyananda's unusual appearance. Chaitanya Dev replied, "The ornaments adorned by Nithyananda are representative of his Navada Bhakti, the ninefold process of devotional service. Please go and pray to him for mercy, otherwise inauspiciousness will prevail for you." Nithyananda takes so many forms for the eternal welfare of the conditioned souls. Is there anyone else in the history like him? Without the mercy of Nithyananda, the heart will not transform. Entrance into Vrindavan only by the mercy of Balaram. Didn't Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur come to Vrindavan? He received Diksha from Śrīla Lokanath Gosvāmī in Vrindavan itself. He also performed parikrama of Rajmandal. Despite all this, he says, "Kabe hama herabo Shri Vrindavan." Shri Vrindavan. When will I have darshan of Vrindavan? In this way, Śrīla Narottam Das Thakur showed us the process of attaining real darshan of Vrindavan. Simply by residing in Vrindavan and continuing to engage in sense gratification, one will not get to see the real Vrindavan. Only by the mercy of Balaram can we get entrance into Vrindavan. When the mind is cleansed of all material desires, then one will have darshan of Shri Vrindavan. I can speak a lot about the details, but the mood will not come in the heart until the mercy of Balaram, the mercy of Guru Padma, is received, just as I mentioned, in the form of different pramans. Humble submission is the prerequisite. We have to remember the utterances of Srila Rupa Goswami in humility. Adharopyaparadhanam aviveko hatopyaham tvat karunya pratikshosmi prasiddha mai madhava. That's from Stavamala, Volume 1, the Pranam Pranay Stava, verse 14. Although I am a mine of offenses, and although I cannot tell right from wrong, I still hope for your mercy. O Madhav, please be merciful to me. Srila Rupa Goswami addresses himself as a dustbin, as a kudadan of faults and defects. Is he really a dustbin? Similarly, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, Jagai madhai hoite muishe papishta, puri shera kita hoite muishe laghishta, Mor naam shune je tar punyakshoy, mor naam loy je tar papa hoy. I am more sinful than Jagai and Madhai, and even lower than a woman's stool. The pious activities of that person who hears my name are completely destroyed. Anyone who utters my name commits a sin. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 5205 and 206. Should we not take his name because he has ordered us not to do so? It is very difficult to reconcile. Srila Sanatana Goswami said, "There is no greater fool than I. I do not know myself. I am a multi-linguist. I know Urdu, Farsi, Sanskrit, Bangla. I know all these languages, yet I am such a fool that I do not know myself. And that is why I pose the question, who am I? It is very difficult to comprehend such profound expressions of humility." Nithyananda is Ananga Manjari. Among the 5 rasas, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, there is no Uttama Bhakti, no Madhur Rasa, the topmost mellow, in Nithyananda. Whoa. Okay, anyways, that's really neat. Uttama Bhakti refers specifically to Madhurya Ras. That's really awesome. Okay, in Madhurya Ras, Nithyananda follows in the footsteps of Radharani as a Manjari, Ananga Manjari. To sequentially guide us to that stage, Nithyananda behaves accordingly. Everything is there. So, to bestow mercy on us, as Guru Tattva, he manifested as Ananga Manjari, who is junior, Kanishta to Radharani, to award us Prema Bhakti. Not everyone knows about this aspect. Vancha kalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhya eva cha. I just gave a little hint there. It's interesting because Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, his translation of that verse of what is Uttama Bhakti, he says, what is it? Oh God, Krishna something, I forgot exactly what it is. Like something like Krishnarte Sarva Indriya something. I don't know. But it's saying that Uttama Bhakti is when you give all of your indriya, all of your senses to Sri Krishna. But who gives all their senses? Who surrenders all their senses, really all their senses, to Krishna? When you go through the progression of all the different rasas, you see that only the gopis are the ones who give all their senses. They offer their complete everything to Krishna. And this sarvendriya, whatever the term is, doesn't happen in Sakya, in Dasya, Sakya, or Vatsalya. So in that way, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also mentioned Uttama Bhakti as being Madhurya Ras. All right, so I want to memorize this verse. I've never memorized it, only heard it a couple times. So if you want to memorize this verse with me, we can do it together. Words. 1 second, let me just open up a Word doc. Okay. Why is it taking so long? Okay, there. I don't like this font. Let me change the font. What's a nice font? Sorry guys, I'm wasting time. Let's just do a simple font. Let's do Calibri. Okay, 1 second. I just need to do a little bit of layout stuff. Okay. Let's make this bold. And let's make the margins narrow. There. All right. So, is this big enough? You can see, right? Okay. Let's put the English meaning under the Sanskrit words, okay? So, I'll make this smaller. Okay. Namaste tu halagrama. So that means, O holder of the plow. Namaste Mushala Yudha. Namaste, obeisances to you, Mushala Yudha, the wielder of the mace. So halagram is the holder of the plow, and Mushala Yudha is the wielder of the mace. Namaste tu halagrama. Namaste Mushala Yudha. Namaste Revati Kanta. Sorry, one second. Let me just make all this text. What size is this? This is 21. Okay, so I'm going to make all this text 20. Let's make it 20. All right. Sorry, guys. Just give me a second here. Namaste Revati Kanta. Namaste Bhaktavatsala. Okay, there. Namaste Revati Kanta. Namaste Bhaktavatsala. Obeisances to you, O darling of Revati. Revati Kanta. Namaste Bhaktavatsala. Obeisances to you, O you who are affectionate to your devotees. Bhaktavatsala. So, Namaste tu halagrama, Namaste Mushala Yudha, Namaste Revati Kanta, Namaste Bhaktavatsala. Let's say it 5 times. Namaste tu halagrama, Namaste Mushala Yudha, Namaste Revati Kanta, Namaste Bhaktavatsala. Namaste tu halagrama, Namaste Mushala Yudha, Namaste Revati Kanta, Namaste Bhaktavatsala. One last time. And then we'll try saying it without looking. Namaste tu halagrama, Namaste Mushala Yudha, Namaste Revati Kanta, Namaste Bhaktavatsala. Okay, now let's do it without looking. One second, let me just see if there's anybody there. Okay, cool. People are learning this with me. Haribol. Hey, Rupa. Okay, so let's try without looking. God, I'm nervous because I'm on the spot now. Okay. Namaste tu halagrama, Namaste Mushala Yudha, Namaste Revati Kanta, Namaste Bhaktavatsala. Oh, that's easy. Okay, so now we'll learn the second verse. Namaste Dharani Dhara. So that's obeisances to you, O upholder of the earth. Obeisances to you, O best of the strong. Balinam Shrestha. Let me put this under. Namaste Dharani Dhara. Obeisances to you, O upholder of the earth. Namaste Balinam Shrestha. Obeisances to you, O best of the strong. Pralambare Namastestu. Obeisances to you, O enemy of Pralamba. Ari means enemy, and Are, it makes it vocative, like, oh, enemy of Pralamba. Like Radha is Radha's name, but Radhe means oh, Radha. So, Pralambare Namastestu Trahi Mam Krishna Purvaja. Let's just do this first line first. Let's do this line first. Namaste Dharani Dhara, Namaste Balinam Shrestha, Namaste Dharani Dhara, Namaste Balinam Shrestha, Namaste Dharani Dhara, Namaste Balinam Shrestha, Namaste Dharani Dhara, Namaste Balinam Shrestha. Now, Pralambare Namastestu. Pralambare Namastestu. Pralambare Namastestu. Trahi Mam Krishna Purvaja. Trahi Mam, please deliver me. Trahi means deliver, and Mam means me. Krishna Purvaja means older. Purva means before, and ja means born. So born before, that's basic, that's like the literal meaning, but it means older brother. Purva ja. Before born. Okay, so I need to say it a little bit higher. Say, Pralambare namaste stu trahimam Krishna purvaja. Pralambare namaste stu trahimam Krishna purvaja. Let's do it 5 times. Pralambare namaste stu trahimam Krishna purvaja. Pralambare namaste stu trahimam Krishna purvaja. Remember that. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Trahimam, please deliver me. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Pralambare namastestu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Pralambare namastestu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Let's say this 5 times, these 2 lines together. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Pralambare namastestu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Pralambare namastestu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Pralambare namastestu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Let's do it one last time and then we're going to do it without looking. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Pralambare namastestu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. So obeisances to you, O upholder of the earth, dharani dhara, the upholder of the earth, and the balinam shishta, the best of the strong. You have to be pretty strong to be the upholder of the earth. That's just a fraction of his strength. So obeisances to you, O upholder of the earth. Obeisances to you, O best of the strong. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Obeisances to you, namaste stu, to Pralambare, the enemy of Pralamba. Pralambare, namaste stu. Please deliver me, O older brother of Krishna. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Pralambare, namaste stu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Okay, let's do it without looking. Okay. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Pralambare namastestu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Let's try it again. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Pralambare namastestu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Can you do it? Let's try it one more time without looking. Namaste dharani dhara. Namaste balinam shishta. Pralambare namastestu. Trahimam Krishna purvaja. Oh my God. Intense, man. All right. So, I just want to see the comments. Is anybody... Okay. Let's try both these verses together now. Namaste tu halagrama, namaste mushalayuda, namaste revati kanta, namaste bhaktavatsala. Namaste dharani dhara, namaste balinam shishra, pralambare namastestu, trahimam Krishna purvaja. Okay. God, this kirtan outside is so distracting for me. I'm having a hard time focusing. Okay. Namaste tu halagrama. Remember that. Obeisances to you, O holder of the plow. Namaste mushala yuda. Obeisances to you, O wielder of the mace. Namaste tu halagrama. Namaste mushala yuda. Namaste revati kanta. Obeisances to you, O darling of Revati. Namaste bhaktavatsala. Obeisances to you, O kind benefactor of your devotees. Namaste Dharani Dhara, Namaste Balinam Shrestha, Pralambare Namaste Stu, Trahimam Krishna Purvaja. So hologram, Mushalayuda, Revati Kanta, and Bhakta Vatsal. Then Dharani Dhara, Balinam Shrestha, Pralambare, and then Krishna Purvaja. Okay, these are all the different things. The holder of the plow, the wielder of the mace, the darling of Revati, the he who is affectionate to his devotees, the upholder of the earth, the best of the strong, the enemy of Pralamba, and the older brother of Krishna. All right, let's just read this through a couple times, and then we'll try doing both verses without looking. All right, ready? Let's do both without looking. Or maybe, should I give you time? I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to wait for you. You say it yourself. I'll give time for you to say it by yourself. That's better, right? Yeah. Why didn't I do that before? God, I wasn't thinking. Okay, so this is your time to say the verse. I'll give you enough time to say it yourself. Okay? Did you say the verse? Both verses? You were able to do it? Okay, now let me try. How does it go? Okay. Namaste tu halagrama, namaste mushala yuda, namaste revati. What is it? Oh my God. Revati kanta, namaste, namaste bhaktavatsala, namaste dharani dhara, namaste balinam shrestha, pralambare namaste stu, trahi mam krishna purvaja. God, that was bad. Sorry, I blame it on the kirtan outside though. Okay, let me try one more time. Namaste tu halagrama, namaste mushalayura, namaste revati kanta, namaste bhaktavatsala, namaste dharani dhara, namaste balinam shrestha, pralambare namaste stu, trahimam krishna purvaja. Woohoo! We did it! Let's see. I'm going to see the comments. Did anybody else? Okay, nobody wrote any comments. Oh, my internet's gone. Dang it. I wonder how long it's been gone for. Anyways, I'm just going to end now then. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nitai Gaur, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Baladeva Prabhu Baladeva, Baladeva Prabhu Baladeva, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jai Nithyananda Ram, Nithyananda Ram, Nithyananda Ram, Jaya Nithyananda Ram, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Let me know in the comments if you were able to memorize the verse, or if I went too fast or too slow, or if it was boring, let me know. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Davika Giridhari, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai, Nitil Vishto Mishnupad, Ashtatarashutashmad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosvāmī Mahārāja Shila Gurudeva ki jai, Nitil Vishto Mishnupad, Ashtatarashutashmad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai, Nitil Vishto Mishnupad, Ashtatarashutashmad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swāmī Mahārāja Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitil Vishto Mishnupad, Ashtatarashutashmad Shila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai, Nitil Vishto Mishnupad, Ashtatarashutashmad Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki jai, Nitil Pravishta Mahabhagavat Śrīla Gokṣadas Babaji Mahārāja ki jai, Nitil Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai, Nitil Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja ki jai, Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dashagunath Shara Gosai Prabhu ki jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai, Nam Acharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाए, श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाए, सर्व अभिष्ट पदार्थ गिरिराज महाराज की जाए, श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाए, श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाए, श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाए, श्री भक्ति देवी की जाए, श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जाए, श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाए, श्री बलदेव प्रभु की जाए, रोहिणी माया की जाए, श्री नंद बाबा यशोदा माया की जय, ब्रजेर बलाय की जय, दाऊ भाया की जय, श्री श्री रोहिणी नंदन बलदेव प्रभु की जय, तुझे शुभ आविर्भाव तिथि की जय, तिथि पालन करी भक्त वृंद की जय, बलदेव पूर्णिमा की जय, श्री झूलन यात्रा समाप्त दिवस की जय, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवाशाचार्य कृष्ण भक्ति प्रददेवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Thunderbolt pranams. So, still remember the verse? Let's try it one last time. Namaste tu halagrama, namaste musalayuda, namaste devati kanta, namaste bhaktavatsala, namaste dharani dhara, namaste balinam sheshta, palambare namaste stu, trahimam krishna purvaja. Try it. I'll give you a chance to say it without me saying. Were you able to memorize it? I lost everybody during that shloka practice. Oh my God, there's only 3 people left. Anyways, I'm glad because I probably wouldn't have done it on my own. I would have been too lazy. So thanks for joining me in this reading and shloka memorization. Jai Shri Radhe. See you tomorrow for Srimad Bhagavatam, if you come for that. Hari Bol. Thunderbolt pranams.